Alright man, so we are back with brand new WWE action figure news today out of New York Toy Fair. We knew that we were going to be getting new reveals today, and I'm excited to get into it with you, and if they drop anything later, maybe we can do a short on it or something like that, but I think we've gotten everything that we're going to get for the rest of the day, and I'll start off with WWE Ultimate Edition Series 32, and this is a set that we knew was coming, man. We talk about leaks and things like that. We did know about these a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, so if you guys want to stay up to date, you need to be live on the channel, man. We are always putting up stuff, or, you know, we'll talk about everything and things that slip through the cracks sometimes, but today we're talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin as a part of Ultimate Edition Series 32. It appears that Mitchell Craig was correct on Ultimate Edition Series 32 because we're starting off with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, not a whole ton to be excited for. I mean, there are some exciting things here that we're going to get into. I'll just break it down for the Stone Cold Steve Austin figure. So as you look at this, man, it does look to be a complete re-release of the Monday Night Wars Ultimate Edition Stone Cold, which was the Ultimate Edition of the year for me last year. So, not that I don't love Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, probably second all time for me, and, you know, everything like that, but I think it's just going to be, you know, you get kind of definitive Austin right here, man. This is the perfect formula. We're getting repeat head sculpts. Actually, that looks to be a brand new head sculpt. The one with the mouth open looks to be a brand new head sculpt. That looks to be that same expression, except the mouth is open a little bit. You know that kind of weird look that he had last time? I think the mouth's a little more open on that one, but you'll also notice he comes with his SummerSlam vest that was not right on his SummerSlam Elite. So you remember the SummerSlam Elite that we just reviewed a couple weeks ago? The vest was supposed to be this vest, so they have redone the vest here. Does look like the deco seems to be a little bit updated from that original All-Stars Elite. We've talked about this a little bit, but the DTA vest, the Don't Trust Anybody vest, is from that SummerSlam Elite, and it was not included. They didn't include it, even though we had gotten that vest previously on the All-Stars Elite way back in 2011, 2010, 2011, and they have kind of redirected or recorrected that because now we're getting the accurate vest on this new Ultimate here. So I guess if you want to update that, you will have to get this figure to update that figure if you don't have that original vest. But you also see he comes with the Stone Cold t-shirt. I'm imagining that's going to be just the Austin 316 shirt they've given us 1,700 times. Maybe not, though. You never know. I imagine it is, though. It's going to be the Austin 316. We are getting the Smoking Skull. That's 2 Smoking Skull championships that we have gotten here back-to-back. You remember the Mankind from the SummerSlam Elite Wave that just released also featured the Smoking Skull from that Triple Threat. So you're getting another Smoking Skull. They're kind of re-putting that back out there. And he gets a couple of beer cans. To me, for some reason, I could be wrong, the beer cans look resized to me here. And I don't know if I'm right or wrong. They also look like they have a matte color, which I think I like better than the bright silver. So you can let me know what you think there. But yeah, he comes with fists, pointer fingers, mic holding hands. I don't know, man. I like the figure because of what it is. It is Austin, but it's not shattering the earth here. We're getting a new head sculpt. You're getting that Smoking Skull, revamped vest, cloth goods. This is going to sell very hotly because it is a definitive Stone Cold, and I told you when they put out that Ultimate Monday Night Wars Austin that it was almost like an infinite money glitch, and I expect to see many Elite Austins on that old buck too, giving him new shirts and new, you know, just different things to get other collectors in there. But this is a perfect Austin. I don't hate it. I think it's solid. It's not a whole ton to get excited for just because, you know, we've seen a lot of this already before, but at the same time, I'm also excited for it. So there's just some different things there, you know? And it's not I guess it's technically a 2-in-1, but this is a Wrestling Gear Ultimate Austin, while that first go around was a 2-in-1 Wrestling Gear, but it didn't include a vest, right? So you kind of get best of both worlds here. But let's move on to the next Ultimate, which is going to be Jake the Snake Roberts, which also was featured in that leaked lineup. Jake the Snake, you know, there was a little description on there that said Becky Lynch. It turns out it was actually Jake the Snake. So Jake the Snake getting another Ultimate Edition. He did get one back in the Coliseum collection. I like this gear. I think this is sweet. I do believe this is based off his matchup with Rick the Model Martel, because if you zoom in on this head sculpt, you'll see he has the damaged eye from that moment. So I think that is really cool as well. He comes with a bag. He comes with a blindfold from that same matchup there, or the, you know, the blindfold match. Got to get your bendy wire snake in here, of course, as well. So this is a solid entry. I know a lot of people may feel that we didn't need another Jake the Snake, but that Coliseum collection figure did come out a while ago. I think that personally, I like this Jake better than that Jake. I think so. I like the formula here. They probably could use bigger arms and shoulders for Jake the Snake if they really wanted to, but this is actually an attire of Jake the Snake that I like a lot. So I'm digging this. You know, Jake the Snake has some of the best wrestling boots of all time as well. So I like this Jake the Snake, man. I dig this. I think this is great, and it's kind of a random pull, I'll be honest with you, especially in the mainline WWE Ultimate Edition line, because, you know, usually, just like the Elite line and things like that, we talk about how in the Ultimate Edition line and in the main WWE WWE Elite Line series, not these sub-lines, but the main lines are typically talent you find on TV today. There's not a lot of legends in there. There's not a lot of flashbacks. You know, they'll hit us with some here and there, but for the, you know, usually, I'd say 75-80% of the figures are usually, you know, modern day talent, and so they got 2 flashbacks on this wave, which is kind of crazy, to be honest. But Jake the Snake also looks good. I like the way the figure looks, and I'm excited to get some of these things in hand to see exactly what we're going to be getting here. So if I said WrestleMania 8, I meant WrestleMania 7, or maybe I just said his Mania match. I can't remember if I said that correctly. Regardless of the fact, man, let's move on to the next figure, which is going to be Jacob Fatu, man, and I'm excited for the Jacob Fatu, and I'm not excited for the Jacob Fatu. So the last time we saw Jacob Fatu was the Ultimate Edition Jacob Fatu with the SmackDown ring. It was Mattel Creations exclusive. It was ringside exclusive, and the only way you could get an Ultimate Edition Jacob Fatu was to buy the SmackDown ring. We're getting a mainline version here, and I do like this in some ways. You're getting, you know, kind of an updated Jacob Fatu, but man, oh man, they've given us some good stuff here, but they've also, like, the more things change, the more they stay the same, man. Why does this man have skinny shoulders and arms? Every Jacob Fatu we get is small shoulders, small arms. I do not understand it. I don't understand, man. I don't understand. This guy's arms are not the same size as Finn Balor or Seth Rollins or these other characters, man. It seems like a lot of these characters, like a lot of the people in this video you're going to see figures of, besides Roman Reigns, Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'm pretty sure the rest of them have the same arm mold, which is just crazy, man. Jacob Fatu deserves bigger shoulders, bigger arms, and this figure would be great because he has the ultimate boots. He's got the baggier pants on. I like this tribal gear. I think this is his WrestleMania gear versus LA Knight, if I'm not mistaken. WrestleMania 41, he comes with the entrance vest, the entrance shirt, the entrance mask. This is one of my favorite matches from this past year's WrestleMania, and it was a lot of fun to be there, and now the figure, I mean, you could switch out the shoulders and arms. There's a way to do so. I just think that, man, it would be so nice to see him with bigger shoulders and arms, man. Guy deserves it. You do have some newly tooled hair here with the same head sculpts we've seen pretty much, so that's cool, but I do like some things that we have going on here. I just want to see bigger shoulders and arms. I don't know why they have not given him bigger shoulders and arms, but that is your Ultimate Edition Series 32 set. You're getting Jacob Fatu, Jake the Snake, and Stone Cold. I'd love to know what you guys think. Again, we knew about this a couple weeks before it was actually put out there, so if you guys want the heads up, man, stay tuned to the channel. But let's get into the next bit of news, which is going to be some new elites. We have WWE Elite Series 126, and we finally got to see them on display. Starting out first, we have 126 Elite Penta, and this was something, again, that we also knew about. We talked about it on the channel. We said that this was going to be, you know, coming, and we didn't know what the last figure in Elite 126 was. They didn't even talk about it or reveal it, and, you know, it was leaked out there. Mitchell Craig doing the good business, and it is the red gear, man. So looking at this figure, it's a repaint of his Defining Moments figure, which I don't hate. I think that some of the deco may be wrong here. I think the belt logo, and there's some different deco hits here that aren't completely accurate. I think it's just missing a little paint. I don't think it's necessarily wrong logos. I think you're just missing, you know, a little bit of white paint here, a little bit of black paint here, but this figure is, I guess maybe Defining Moments Penta is going to have a run for the money, because if they're going to repaint that figure multiple times over, which would be another infinite money glitch for them, the red gear looks great here, man. I think this looks excellent. So if we get this Penta, got the red gear versus the black gear, I think I still like the Defining Moments over this one. I still like this figure a lot. I think the repaint is sick as hell, but we do have Penta here as a part of Elite 126. Very excited to have this figure and get another Penta so quickly. I'm excited to see when we finally get an Ultimate. We'll probably get an Ultimate revealed at WrestleMania, let's be honest. Let's just be completely real. That'll be epic, but Penta is the first figure here in Elite Series 126, and that is excellent. But we also have a look at WrestleMania 41 Roman Reigns. Now, excited and not excited. This was, you know, I love Roman Reigns. I'm a big Roman Reigns guy, and this attire was so beautiful to see in person when he walked out at WrestleMania 41 last year, and to get it here in Elite figure form is excellent. We do know we're also getting a basic of this, which, if you'll notice here on this Elite, he's going to get the new gauntlet mold from Elite 123. Another thing from Elite 123 he's getting is the head sculpt, man. Why are we getting this head sculpt again? That is crazy, man. So no top picks head sculpt, no new head sculpt, no nothing like that. This looks to be the same head sculpt we got pretty much in Elite 123. If I'm wrong, I will be shocked. It looks to be the exact head sculpt we have gotten over many years. I can't remember the first time we saw it, but it's been a very long time. We've seen this head sculpt many times over the years, and I would like to see something else. Now, could you head swap it? Of course you can head swap it. Not the biggest deal there. But I would have liked to seen something else here for the head sculpt. I do like this gear, love this gear, and I know the images are not the best. We may, hopefully, by the time this video is posted, we'll have a better image. Maybe Ringside will put up some images or something. And I mean, I imagine the gallery for all these figures should be posted relatively soon. I know we're kind of, we're about a couple months away now from WrestleMania, but the gallery for these figures should be dropping any week now, I imagine. But the Roman Reigns does look good. I'm excited for it, even though, I mean, the head sculpt is what it is. Like, you can head swap it. I just want to see new head sculpts here, but it is pretty much what we expected there. We also have a look at El Grande Americano, which also looks good. I dig this. The face looks a bit weird under the mask. It's hard because, we don't have clear images just yet, but I do like this gear. Colors look good. I hope that, everything turns out right. The El Grande Americano, I do like the colors. I think that this turned out pretty good for the most part. I'm excited for this figure. You're getting some exciting figures here in this set, I think. Again, all mainline talent or all modern day talent. Nothing, flashback or anything here in this Elite set, but we also have Roxanne Perez. Kind of difficult to make out. It does look like this head sculpt is much better than her first go around. I was not a big fan of her first Elite. I think this one looks much better. You got her black and silver there. She's got the jacket. She's got the stars. Looks pretty good. Again, not the greatest photo of all time, but from what we have here, it looks pretty decent, and I'm excited to get another Roxanne. I think it's been a while since we've seen her, and the first time we got her was her NXT look, NXT Championship, things like that. This one looks to be a lot better, in my opinion, and I think that'll be a nice upgrade, nice update for Roxanne, and we knew about these figures, of course, but it is nice to see them here in the packaging. Almost looks like they're almost ready to ship, I imagine, so that's nice, but we also have Jimmy Uso here. So for this figure, man, I thought the first time I saw it, the head sculpt looked much better, and then we got better photos, and then my opinion on it completely flipped. I was excited for this figure, and I think that we have enough Jimmy head sculpts between his Ultimate Edition, between his Elite 114, between his Elite 114 Chase. There are some Jimmy Uso figures to be had out there. There's some basics and stuff you could head swap, but man, this head sculpt's not it. I thought that it looked pretty good in the bad photos, but then we got the other photos, and it just completely fell off a cliff. But I do like the jersey. I like everything else going on with the figure. Just another wolf head sculpt, but the jersey looks solid. The legs, everything here should be good, but I was not a fan of this head sculpt here. Let me know what you think. And then we also have a look at the final figure in the set, which is going to be Javon Evans. Very excited for Javon Evans, first time in the line figure. We've talked about it before. Not our favorite gear. I would have liked to seen different gear here, but he comes with an entrance shirt. Solid head sculpt. It looks like it's going to be ready to fly, and I think this is a nice looking figure. Again, pretty dark. Hard to kind of tell all the details, but we did get to see him on display. Mint on card on all these figures, not loose. Maybe later in the day they'll be loose and we can get some better images, maybe. And, we'll play that by ear, hopefully. But it is cool to see Javon getting a first figure here, first time in the line. But again, you can't really make out too much here. But he does have that shirt. He comes with a solid looking head sculpt, and I hope that this figure is just as good as it looks here. So we will see. But that is all of the news that we had here for New York Toy Fair. It's a little update that we have here. This morning we did put up our Wyatt 6 Elite box set, Walmart exclusive review. So if you guys want to check out that review, we checked out the entire box set, almost 25 minutes long review of unboxing it, did some photography and stuff. We got to see what that box set was all about, but let me know what you think, man. Ultimate Edition Series 32, Elite Series 126, and also I want to plug this here at the end. We also have a look at the upcoming Slambulance. So we didn't get to see this, but Steve did, the AIC podcast did do a video where Steve walked through and he did a little showcase with this ambulance, and it was pretty cool because he showed off some new features here. So the seat kind of turns and it launches the door off. There's this little piece on the top of the ambulance that shakes. I thought this was really cool, and we're getting an update of the Slambulance. I love the Slambulance. My kids love the Slambulance. They play with that a lot, and I think that the Slambulance was an epic pull, so to redo that in red is pretty cool. I will definitely be grabbing this. I'm excited for this. I love the Slambulance. I love all the vehicle playsets, though. They're very good, and I think that overall, the Slambulance looks pretty good, man. But that is everything that we had, man. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking here. How are you feeling about the entire New York Toy Fair? Last couple of years, I don't think they've revealed anything at Toy Fair, man. So I didn't really expect anything this weekend for Toy Fair. They usually just show things that we've already seen or whatever the case is. We actually got a couple cool updates or a few cool updates this weekend. We got to see 2 full Ultimate Edition waves, updated. We got to see Elite 126 in person. So I think that it was pretty solid overall, just because coming in, I didn't really have any expectations whatsoever. They didn't do this last year, I don't think. So, and if it was pretty small, I believe. But maybe this is something that we can look forward to every year. But maybe I can go out there next year or something like that, make a little small trip to New York and cover it in person. But regardless of the fact, man, I appreciate you guys so very much. Before we get out of here, let's get into our random comment shout-out. And our shout-out today is going to go to Sean Cook 5133, who says, you should review Hot Toys, company that makes really good figures. You will love the details. And I have, I've never had a Hot Toy before. I have looked into it. I probably wouldn't review them unless they did WWE, which would be insane. I think that would be a really cool line. I would collect those. I probably would be very selective on them, but that would be really cool to review those. But Hot Toys, I've had someone pre-order before and ended up canceling them. I just can't justify the price for the lack of articulation, and I know they look incredible. They're like mini statues, but yeah, man, I just can't justify the price. I feel like my money goes way further with figures like this, but I'm getting out, man. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.